About 2 years ago, I took the opportunity to go to a monastery in Thailand, in the north of Thailand, and we had a very interesting routine over there. Okay, and the routine was that first of all, we shaved our head and our eyebrows, and we were barefoot, and so it was, everybody looked the same, and there was no social mask. Secondly, we had to go begging. It wasn't called begging, it was called the alms round, to find our food every day. And then, people were so generous that we came back as if we had gone shopping to Whole Foods. And then we shared our meal, and one meal a day, and the rest of the time was spent in silence and observing impermanence. Because, you soon realize that everything you're looking at is this flux, it's impermanent. And it had a very dramatic effect on all of us because it threw us in the present moment in a very interesting way. And so when we were leaving, and the abbot, the senior abbot who was the head of the monastery, is about half my age, and we were in silence most of the time, but, in the evenings we had like 2 hours where we could talk to him, and he would ask me questions about quantum physics. And I realized he knew everything. There was nothing I couldn't tell him. He had never read a book. He'd never learnt mathematics or anything, but he had the experience that it wasn't difficult to explain to him what I knew intellectually. And on the day we were leaving, we were all in his presence, and he had a very gracious presence, just like Eckhart has. And he left us with 2 things, and I want to leave you with those 2 things, okay? The first is, and this is both scientific insight and real insight, okay? There are no boundaries in the universe. Every boundary is conceptual. In reality, there are no boundaries. We create them, just like we create latitude and longitude for purposes of convenience. So if I say, meet me on 56th and Broadway on Tuesday at 6 p.m., now we've created an agreement for a boundary. But in reality, there are no boundaries at all. And the second thing, which you already know, is the present moment is the only moment that never ends. Okay, the situations and circumstances around the present moment will change, but the moment won't change. Because it's timeless, it's transcendent, it's eternal. So I'll leave you with what my abbot said to me. He said, the most important time in your life is now. The most important person in your life is the one you're with now. The most important activity in your life is the one you're involved with now. And if you do that, the unknown will become known to you. The unknown is actually known only in the present moment.
Hat dir dieses Video gefallen? Gib uns ein Zeichen und lasse einen Daumen nach oben da. Bist du interessiert an weiteren solchen kostenlosen Videos? Dann abonniere unbedingt unseren Kanal und drücke die Benachrichtigungsglocke, denn nur so stellst du sicher, dass du kein weiteres Video verpasst. Danke dir und bis zum nächsten Video.